Do 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 do.
All right.
Do 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 do.
Jota Zeta and Fortibus. Watch Cinderella and find the best one. I've never actually sat down and saw this movie all the way through.
It's like one of Mama Zeta's favorites.
I believe it. I was just super invested in what was going on, and I'll admit this is probably more spectacle. I probably need to watch this again to really get like a vibe. But by golly, I think it was really, really good. I think I would have changed one thing.
What is the one thing you would have changed about the movie?
I think I would have changed the evil villain love interest.
Danielle de Barbarac.
I think that you could have taken those scenes out. You could have just said that she's being sold. They wanted her to be absolutely free of everything. But I don't think that her having to reveal that she's a swordsman, it's really good that she got sold to a bad person. That really got me. But then they have to resolve that bad person quickly. That's where I think the film doesn't do well for me. Because it was that quick resolution was over.
Where is your sense of adventure?
Was letting her passion unleash, which is kind of like a very similar thing to what the prince was doing in very different ways. She just was suppressing it, and he was just bored with it. And then he's inspired, and she just quotes at him the whole time. Is that what love is? Is that she's just like, well, sir, have you considered this? Well, you know, sir, you're a bit of an oaf. Well, sir, and I love you.
I think the big thing about this is so far we've seen Cinderella be a pretty submissive character, and I think this movie makes a really strong point to show that Danielle is not a submissive character.
Well, she is, but you're right. It's not the oh darn, I'll just have to deal with it. No, she was a person.
Yeah, and I think because like when I watched that ending scene with when she gets sold to the evil villain guy, I always thought that was quick. I wanted her to get the key from him, run out of the tower, and then have his guards chase her or something, and then have the prince show up and fight off the guards, and then him do the whole speech of like, oh, I was coming here to save you, but I guess you didn't need it. She saves herself, which I know is kind of like on the nose, but with a lot of these Cinderella movies, in the past two that we watched, Cinderella goes to the ball and everything, but a lot of people argue that she just kind of waits around for a man to do something. In the Rodgers and Hammersteins that we watched, she does like leave herself and stuff like that, but I think this one laid it on thick that she saves herself. At the ending scene when she defeats the evil guy, why I like it so much, because she doesn't know that the prince is out there. She doesn't know she's gonna have a happy ending. So I like that scene a lot where she saves herself against the evil guy, because it's hope for a better life. Has zero expectations that the prince is gonna be there, that he's gonna like sweep her off her feet and then she's gonna live this wonderful life. She gets lashed and is in physical pain, and her father's book gets burned. The ball is a horrific embarrassment, so hurtful emotionally, and then she gets sold to this really creepy guy that's evil, so she can't even live on her family's, and that's kind of hope. So agree to disagree.
The idea of the scene is really good.
It just happens fast.
It just happens fast, and I don't get all of that. And the way that it was shot, it was a tense scene. It was on there, and then it's over. You don't get to see the key handed over. I was like, oh, there's something more to it. It's over, and then she's out. And the ending she needs to be in complete control, kind of. I don't know. Her story arc, okay, I really do like this movie. Again, this is a small nitpick. Her breaking point is that she gets to the ball, and the prince, who is a major jerk, by the way, just can't listen.
Before another word is spoken.
Then you're not engaged.
And he just pouts. But I guess it makes sense, but I wanted to see it differently. In the Disney film, it wasn't about the guy.
Yeah.
She just wanted she just wanted a night to herself
Completely wonderful.
where she could not be who she was. And she got that, and that's why I like about that Cinderella, is she got what she wanted, and then when there was the opportunity of, wait, maybe that there is more to my life, that's when the stepmother locks her in, and she has to get saved, because I don't know, I'm touching on it on like a philosophical level, because you can be in an area, and then you give yourself one night, and that's when your doors start to open.
It's the man who opened the door.
It's like where your insecurities and then your outside pressures can get you, and I also believe that no one can do everything by themselves. themselves. And so people do need to get saved. Do I think that that should always happen to women in media? No. And so I am glad that Danielle saves herself. Also, her name is Danielle. That low-key bothers me. I got more used to it later. I loved how Marguerite called her Cinderella, Cinderfoot.
I've watched this movie in the past. I've always thought that the prince was an idiot. But watching it this time, I like it because the whole movie takes place over the course of 5 days.
Yeah.
And I mean, they get married at the end of the week, which is kind of fast. But what I like is the first time that they talk outside of the castle when she buys Maurice back, they get in a fight. And the second time, he is impulsive because he leaves the tower. What plan does he have when he runs away? He has zero plan.
Not again.
He's impulsive, he's arrogant, and he's prideful. And even though he starts to change and do things independently, like invite the gypsies and the university and being kinder to his parents,
Who are you? What have you done with our son?
there's still these faults.
That's it. She should have been saved by the gypsies.
That would have been so good!
Yeah. Well, he's not listening to her now. What's to say that she'll listen to him? He'll listen to her later. He already's like, oh, I have my own university idea that you inspired.
Project actually inspired by you.
Is that a good idea? I don't know. I'm just gonna go do it. He's impulsive. Not a good match. This is probably my favorite Drew Barrymore performance I've ever seen in my life.
Which is so funny because everybody makes fun of her because she cannot keep a consistent accent throughout the whole movie.
It's a fairy tale.
Okay, well now we've heard the part that you would change. What was your favorite part of the movie?
I think that they had a little bit too much fun. I think that I would have preferred, maybe that's what I'm looking for, is a more serious take. Because I think that
This is literally a more serious take. Did you see that stepmother? Yeah. She literally got whipped and lashed and sold off to this weird pedophile creep.
But there's also a scene where there's a woman wailing the whole time as she walks to the altar, and everyone's just like, oh my gosh, and you're just like, you can't help but laugh because it's so silly.
They gotta lighten the mood because of all the serious stuff in it. You are so inconsistent. We're watching this movie and the stepmother is actually evil and mean, and I turn to JotaZeta, I go, you wanted an evil stepmother? And he goes, yeah, but she's like evil. I wasn't talking about physical abuse. Insert quote here. That's what he said, and now we're talking about it, and he's going, yeah, this is more serious. This is what I wanted. Post movie, I wish it was more serious and more dark.
Hey. First off, let the record show on the previous recording. Editor, you have this. I did not say that.
You did.
I did not say that. This is good.
You get so excited that she stands up for herself just for that.
I wasn't expecting her to... Oh...
Last movie you did say you wanted a little physical abuse.
I didn't say physical abuse specifically. So, yes, I realized that I did want it to be a bit more serious and darker, and then I realized how that would make me feel.
Because every time a serious or dark part happened, you went, oh, this is hurting my heart a little bit.
And it was doing exactly its good job. A lot of it, most of it is good. I think all of it comes together really well. I like the character interactions. I thought that the stepmother favoring one child over the other was much more realistic, but also I think I would have done away with the neighing. I think I would have just had them have a conversation.
Oh, Jacqueline and the captain of the guards.
I would rather the stepmother and the stepdaughter, instead of them being pushed into the tide pool, like, oh, see, they got their comeuppance. I would have liked them see them a little bit miserable and get that real comeuppance. That's where that comes down to. But no, I get it. The scene before that was really it, when she knelt before Cinderella.
Your Highness.
But maybe it's just the performance. She didn't look as defeated, but I think she was trying to hold together a regality. I love the stepmother. I thought that she was amazing. I like how much I got to feel for Jacqueline.
Of course not, Mother. I'm only here for the food.
And because she's in that in-between where she's kind of an accomplice, but she's kind of not an accomplice. She kind of comes around and
It's only a ball.
everything like that. She's not really super brave or bold.
Something that I love about this movie is I feel like a lot of the characters experience character growth. Well, Jacqueline, even she feels torn between Danielle and her family, and in the end she chooses Danielle, and like that's growth for her.
Doom.
Pierre le Pure, Your Highness.
And then you have Gustav, who gets to like meet his hero and be brave and be bold.
Yes?
He's great.
He's the best.
My favorite scene though is it's gotta be the fight. It's gotta be when Danielle punches Marguerite. I was not expecting it. I was totally expecting her to just rip her apart. And then like they had the whole book and the shoe and it's just like, give me the shoe. And I'm just like, we all know how this is gonna end. And the stepmother is just like on the side and the stepsister's just like that. I'm gonna give you lashings. And then just to see the next scene with like the lashings on the back was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
She gets more and more unfeeling as it goes on because once she's just like, well, we'll see about that. And like, she's like, you won, don't you get it? And she's like, And then she, as Danielle starts walking away and she just has a smirk on her face, just like, I have utterly crushed you and that makes me feel elated. Versus the more conflicted bits that she had beforehand. I don't know, her development, it's all subtle, it's all good subtext, it's not screaming at you. I guess the theme behind it isn't as important as it was kind of like an adventure.
There are games afoot.
It was very much like an adventure. I can't believe I'm saying this. It was an engaging story with engaging characters and I connected with them and I wanted to see them succeed. It doesn't matter, like the dialogue was cheesy, but it needs to be cheesy because of romance and comedies.
Am I to understand that you find me arrogant?
The romance genre always has those lines of like, well, I'm gonna say this that if I said in real life would make me look like an idiot. But I'm so into that, sir. But yeah, I really liked, it was engaging. It was good. It really drew a lot of good things out there. Like I said, I only have like that minor nitpick about that character. It has all the classic stuff, but it doesn't feel like a checklist. It feels like they really tried to think like, okay, what does this effect have on this person? What effect does it have here? How are the two stepsisters introduced? It's shown, not told. I don't think they make film like this anymore. And I really don't want it to be Ever After to be an example of this is how you make engaging films.
Just accept it. Ever After is a great movie.
It's pretty good. It has a really solid first 2 acts. And then it
falls into the cheese for the third act.
I would say it stumbles at the ending, but like it still passes the finish line and it's still really, really good.
And I would also say that with regards to like marking a checklist of like what makes a Cinderella story, you have the case of mistaken identity, you have the shoe, you have the ball, you have the fairy godmother character who is Da Vinci in this movie, which is so freaking hilarious to me. I will forever be known as the man who opened the door.
Yeah, they had some good jokes. I like that there were other servants there. I liked how she wasn't a slave, but she was working really hard and you could tell that she was doing it. And you could tell there was approval of her mom, but there was also, she wanted that because they had the scene where she brushes her mom's hair, the stepmom's hair and everything like that.
Yeah, and she just craved that parental love.
Was there a time, even in its smallest measurement, that you loved me at all?
And once she got love from the prince, that's what I think set her off. And then she's like, there is no love here. And it didn't have to be told to you.
And going back to my original point about the checklist is we knew how the story was going to go. We knew how it was going to start and how it was going to end and like the major plot points and everything. But it really felt like it was its own story. Like we've watched 2 Cinderella movies now already. And the last one felt kind of like a carbon copy a little bit. But this one, like, you still get like the ups and downs and you're stressed about what's gonna happen next. Like when Danielle was coming home late from hanging out with the gypsies and the prince, when we were watching the stepmother being so angry that she wasn't home yet, I looked over to you, Jota Zeta, and you were like, crap, something's gonna happen and I don't know what it is. What is the punishment?
Yeah, I was like, how bad is this gonna be? Because it's gonna escalate. And I was like, what's gonna happen? And I couldn't have imagined that she was just sleeping in, that the other step, and then they're gonna take the dress, and things just continue to escalate. It was a catalyst and it was a boiling point, and then she got locked in, and I pointed out a lot of small inconsistencies, but overall I thought it was really, yeah.
Yeah, it felt like its own Cinderella story.
It had its own take, even though it didn't stray too far from things. They added a couple little fun elements to kind of keep things and mix things fresh. It's fine that it's Leonardo da Vinci.
It's hilarious that it's Leonardo da Vinci.
You need to ground it in something, and it's fine. Like, he needs to be in the court and stuff like that. So like, it all works. I have no complaints. I thought the characters were brilliant. I thought the way that they utilized them is brilliant.
Okay, quick question here. Who was your favorite character of the movie? The stepmother, because she was so nuanced and complex.
She was really good, but I think my favorite character... Crap. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is the stepmother. Everyone else has good moments, but the prince makes me angry because no one acts like that. Even rich, pompous people. I think it's the evil stepmom. I think that she has the most to work with. I think it's a hard role to nail down, and I think there's a lot of subtlety that she throws in there. I was always looking forward to see what situation where she'd find herself in, where she would find out something bad and how she would twist it. Yeah, evil stepmom.
When I watched this movie before, my answer was always Da Vinci because I thought he was so hilarious and very wise. And I loved that he knew Danielle was a courtier the entire time and still supported her. And I thought he was like very subtle and had very good outlooks on life. But this surprised me a little bit. I think my favorite character is the prince because I like the whole idea. I'm really happy with the whole idea that it's only been 5 days and he started out as an idiot and he's still he does idiotic things, but he's better and he's learned and he's grown. And I've always liked to see that growth in the prince because Danielle starts as a good person and she just learns how to be like vocal and to not hide her passion. And throughout the movie, she gets the opportunity to be more passionate and everything. I totally forgot to answer what was my favorite scene. I love it when she buys Maurice and they have that whole conversation. I think it was a great meet cute. But really, the best scene is when she takes Maurice home and his wife gets so excited to see him and she starts running to him and Maurice is old and he limps and he's trying to run as fast as he can with his limp, and then the other servant lady's so excited to see him and they all run for this family hug and then they get Danielle in there. This is so cheesy, but I still get tears in my eyes when that scene happens. It's so emotional.
It's really, really good. But I think that the best scene in the actual movie that we both overlooked is when she's just randomly in the river and Da Vinci just walks up to her and is just like, "It looks like it's about to rain." I still wanted him to say that when he was talking to the prince right before it rained and he gave her the slipper. It's just like, "You don't deserve her anyway. By the way, it looks like it's going to rain."
It was just so funny. Oh my goodness, I forgot how excited I was for you to watch that scene as it was coming, because I was like, he's got his boat shoes and JotaZeta's gonna find this hilarious.
Well, it is canon in the Hotaverse that all boats and all things that float in the water belong to me inherently.
What are your overall thoughts on the movie?
The best Cinderella film I've seen so far.
We have the ranking of Cinderella 1950s, Roger and Hammerstein's with Brandy, and Ever After.
Well, I think this one has to take my top spot. It's a good take on a Cinderella story. She's independent, but she's contracted. She's kind of held back, but it's for realistic reasons. It's not. We watched a whole bunch of trailers for Cinderella movies, so I think I'm a little bit biased about what some people think Cinderella is. I think these 3 films have kind of proven that's not what Cinderella's about at all.
Yeah.
And that's changed my entire viewpoint of this project. And this one has the most choices that Cinderella has ever made before in any sort of adaptation.
I think you made a great point. This one takes my top spot because it has, personally, I just think it has a lot of comedy, which was fun. It has enough romance to make my heart flutter, but I also love how much growth every character goes through, and there's a lot of like subtle growth as well. So that's why it takes my top spot.
Yeah, I was gonna again say no. Maybe the 1950s one should take my second spot, but no, you're right because it had too much Gus and Jacques in it. Too much mice.
Too much Tom and Jerry.
Too much Tom and Jerry. I wanted Cinderella in my Cinderella film, and what I got was good, but what I got was quality, but it wasn't enough of it. And then Roger Hammerstein, Whitney Houston, she nailed the whole. This is a stage play, fun, whimsical adventure thing, and I can't fault that. So yeah, Ever After is my top. Well, that's the end of our show. Have a good rest of your day.
If you liked it, like it. If you didn't like it, comment. Tell us why you did it.
Maybe leaving a comment. You didn't like it? Also leave a comment. We're open to criticism.
If you enjoyed it, subscribe.
Thanks and have a great day.